we're recording now. 3 seconds gone. Well,
No, 3 minutes gone now.
well, here we are, the LGfL podcasting studio for the first time ever.
Yep.
And who best to kick off our first beds podcast
That's podcast.
than to have the CEO of LGfL in the room. Good afternoon, John.
Good afternoon, Dan.
Welcome to our new podcasting studio.
It's incredible, isn't it? Don't you think?
Yeah, I think it's amazing.
Oh man, I'll tell you. I could get used to this.
Well, this could be the first of many, John. So
Yeah.
start getting used to it. Well, here we are. With, half term over and done with, and we crack on for the second half of the autumn term.
Yep.
What's been happening, John?
Oh my goodness me!
Yeah,
I mean,
lots going on.
Yeah. Well, it's just been one of those sort of few months, hasn't it? Really, not a lot's happened really. We've had supply crises, we've had energy crises, we've got cost of living crisis. I mean, you name it. There has been a crisis, hasn't there? Anyway, the good news is that good old reliable LGfL, isn't it?
Steady LGfL.
Steady,
all the way.
reliable LGfL. Have we increased our prices?
No.
No, we're not like everyone else. We're not pushing our prices up.
Have we done more deals with anybody?
Yeah, we're continuing to give out more free licenses.
Yeah.
We're continuing to give out more free school meals. In fact, I believe we've had double the number of claims this year compared to last year. So I think we're over £10 million compared to £5 million in the same period last year. So, LGfL, in short, despite all the crises going out, good old reliable LGfL, no prices increased. It's still save more than you spend. We're giving out more licenses. And we're giving out lots of free school meals. And guess what they've done? This is the exciting part. We are also looking to continue that spirit of innovation, So we're looking at what additionality we can bring to the package, whether that be resilience, safeguarding, digital documentation, toolkits and strategies. We're also, in fact, going to be adding to our team. Yeah, we've got more people, so we can do more work on safeguarding and
we're a growing
security.
Community across the board, not just internally here at LGfL, but out there with new business, new circuits being delivered. And we're taking orders for next April, aren't we?
Well, it's far better. I'm you know me, Dan. I think that why have all the goodness in the south of England? We need to take in, particularly in this current crisis. Let's take it to the north.
Well,
I have to say, because I'm a northerner, Dan, I'm pretty keen to get LGfL goodness up north and not just around London. And in fact, that stat I was telling you earlier. When I joined LGfL, I think something like less than 5% of our customers are outside London. And I reckon within the next sort of 12 to 18 months, probably more than half our customers will be from outside London. So we will truly be a national grid for learning, which I think is
I believe we're
brilliant.
working with 80 local authorities.
Oh, it's at least, we're listing 80 local authorities now across the
under
UK.
the NGFL banner, which we've trademarked, which is good.
Well, yes. LGfL, the National Grid for Learning.
So does that mean a school in the Midlands can enjoy the same licensing access as a school in London has traditionally?
Yep, absolutely.
Wow, you've opened up the licensing
Hey, listen,
door.
there's no north-south divides with LGfL, right?
Well, there we go. That's levelling up from LGfL.
We level up, man. We're definitely leveling up.
Well, I've been through here and counted nearly 100 services we include in the subscription. That's
Really?
quite something. Wow. And we've got some additional bits and pieces coming along. Can we talk about it?
Oh, yeah, we can. We've got... one of the things we've been focusing on is actually resilience, and one of the best ways of achieving resilience is actually to make sure that what you deliver today hasn't got single points of failure. That when things happen on a national level, you can reroute the traffic into different roads and from how to get from A to B. So LGfL has actually been working with Virgin and with our partners Atomwide to increase the resilience of what we've got already. But also what we're going to do is investing to refresh lots of this stuff that we've got out there. So there's some exciting stuff happening on filtering. Of course, we've got School Protect coming.
Oh, so that's exciting.
Yes.
That sort of under test at the moment, isn't it?
It is.
And due for release early 2023, I'm hoping.
Well, you know, I'm confident actually going to be even earlier. I think we're looking to take probably around 100 schools on a beta by Christmas.
I like the way it's cloud-based filtering, and there's a lot of schools out there, they've told me, where, you know, it involves putting in a change request and sending it by email and waiting weeks to do simple block allow changes and things like that. So I think we've got something pretty cutting edge coming with School Protect.
Listen, let me reassure you on cutting edge. I mean, some of the acronyms and statements I'm hearing in some of these meetings, I'm afraid they're beyond me. But the good news is you're right, Dan. I mean, one of the great things about LGfL is why have thousands of individual bits of kit sitting in cabinets consuming electricity when you can just take the traffic, push it through a cloud, do it once, make it available everywhere. It's so much more scalable, it's so much cheaper, and it's, you know, if you design it right, it should be much more reliable as well. So, yeah, I mean, we do, you know, we are, you know, LGfL in various ways have been doing cloud ever since, 2010, at huge scale.
And we continue to tick all the boxes for keeping children safe in education, which is reassuring for schools.
And working in partnership, of course, with the police, with the sort of national security services. Obviously, we've just produced some resources which the DFE have told us is some of the best resources on safeguarding that they've ever seen. So, you know, some really impressive stuff going on.
I think there's lots in the way of extra safeguards, protections, resources, free training, and value add that we include here at LGfL.
And we're looking to, I don't know whether you know this, Dan, again, it's something that the team are working on, is having a national centre of excellence on computing. I mean, you bet. Yeah. And what else can I tell you? Well, obviously, we're looking at how we can add more value to the package. You know, what else can we include? Or what else could we bring at, you know, very low rates to schools? So safeguarding is probably top of our list.
Could I mention safeguard monitoring at this juncture?
You can.
What's the latest on that?
We definitely, I mean, LGfL wants to make sure that schools are getting the best deals, the best pricing. We don't want them spending more money on things than they ought to. And certainly we've been exploring the market to see whether or not we can form some new alliances to bring great product to schools at affordable prices, and I'm confident come January next year that we will be in a position to do some really cool stuff, which will help schools a lot.
And this is a lot down to the aggregated procurement power, buying power of 3,500 schools.
Yeah,
and us being a not-for-profit educational trust, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, it's a statement of the obvious, isn't it? If you're buying on behalf of one school, you're buying on behalf of 10 schools, you might get a bit of a discount, but if you're buying on behalf of 3,500, you're going to get an even better discount, particularly if you're going to pay the bill on time. And that's what LGfL does. So you're right, Dan, we get massive economies of scale. Coming back to the charity side, I mean, obviously, LGfL isn't not-for-profit, as you say. You know, the surpluses don't go into paying for helicopters, Lamborghinis, or trips to Formula One. Although I wish, perhaps, I don't wish actually, really, you know, I don't. But the point is, that actually we put that surplus back into, you know, new products, new service innovations, and this is why you see schools benefit tremendously, because think about, for example, something as like our broadband service. How many providers actually freely upgrade their broadband service at no extra cost? You don't have to sign a contract. Yeah, you don't have to sign long-term nowadays. We just bump your bandwidth up as part of the bandwidth bonanza.
Tell us a bit about your bandwidth bonanza. You've been, because we have a network and security operations centre, we can monitor the usage, can't we, at each school?
We can.
And then you have the opportunity to just increase bandwidth where needed, when you can see that they're you know, maximising their usage. Is that the case?
Yeah, I mean, you know, one thing we know for sure, and if you get any chart on internet consumption, you can see over the last 20, 30, 40 years, all that's happened is it's just gone up and up and up.
Oh, yeah.
So we know over time that we're doing more with technology, and we're using more of the internet, and we're streaming in more things. So, you know, any organisation that wants to support its customers particularly children and schools in our case, we need to just keep incrementing and improving that and just making it easy. So this is one of the other advantages when you come to LGfL. We don't put cheap kit in, we put the best kit in, and that enables us to just keep upgrading it. We don't have to come in and replace equipment. We just flick a switch and we can take schools from 100 to 200 to 300 to 400 to 500. We take them to a gig, and we can all do it over the wire. We can do it out of hours. We do it for free. And wow, then schools don't have to worry about performance and capacity because we're doing it for them. As you say, Dan, we're monitoring it.
You're future-proofing them, which is fantastic. It's good news for schools.
Yeah.
Well, here we are in the second part of the autumn term. I'm just thinking the lead up to the holiday break in December and into the new year.
Yeah.
What sort of good news can LGfL schools be looking forward to in 2023, may I ask?
Well, I think the good news is that we're not going to be increasing pricing. I think, schools are under so much pressure right now, whether it's staffing costs, whether it's energy costs, whether or not it's just supply chain costs generally. Everything's going up, right? The good news with LGfL, first and foremost, is we're not putting up prices, right? We are absolutely committed to, finding other ways of consuming these pressures. So LGfL will not be passing these price changes on, and we will be looking to find other ways to make those savings ourselves. And I think that's a message I think that all suppliers to schools should be thinking about, rather than just simply say, let's bump the price up 5-10%. Let's find ways of being more efficient. I love that. What did you do there? Did you press something? Anyway, I love that. I like the sound. I sounded like angelic. That was good.
Yeah.
So I think that's important. I think the second thing is just keep doing what we do today. Just get more goodies out there. Let's make sure the schools are aware of what they can have. When you mentioned earlier, for example, the free security audit. We can tell schools where their vulnerabilities are. They can get a little report, that tells them, here's the things you need to fix, cost you now, get on with it. And not, if you went anywhere else, people would say, oh, yeah, you can have that for a few £1,000. We're just giving it away. So I think there's a general point, and I think everyone that's involved in LGfL will always say the same thing. We need to do more to make sure that everybody knows what's available to them, so they can take advantage of it rather than actually going out and buying something else which does the same thing at great cost. So again, there'll be a big push, I think, to increase awareness. You'll be pleased to know as well, I think, without giving away too many trade secrets at this point, but I will be upgrading a number of these older systems to bring in new features and goodies, but I will say more about that in a future podcast.
So, okay, finally, I just wanted to say, we've been around, this is our 21st year, moving into our 22nd year as a...
Oh, no, it's we're going to be moving into our 23rd year, Dan.
So, in that time, we've built up quite a network, haven't we?
We have.
With lots of layers of protection.
12 layers of digital defence, isn't it, Dan?
Yeah, and it's those extra protections, which 4 or 5 of them protecting the WAN itself, which I think you don't get anywhere else.
It's a unique proposition for those schools who take it, and it's one of the reasons why schools stick with us. They know they can rely on us to deliver safety, security, and trust us to do that consistently, year in and year out. I mean, we're protecting every day millions of devices and millions of children. And it's we do it really well. Having said that, Dan, I would never be relaxed about this. I think the threat landscape is constantly changing. We continue to need to upgrade our defences, review our risks, and take sensible steps to continue improving it. And just coming back to your point, actually, again, it wouldn't be obvious to most schools, but at the Security Operations Centre, we just upgraded that service again to provide richer 24/7 protection. So that's just happened. So we're just doing it.
I mean, where else do you know that there's a company watching the lights on your firewall at your school every minute of every hour of every day? It's pretty unique. And the fact that, if anything ever flickers, it auto-generates
alerts.
Texts with
Hey, listen,
cases.
you're right. We're out there now. The firewall's overheating. We're telling the schools, hey, it's getting hot in there. And it's not the only thing.
We can tell schools what's happening before they even know. So we can. Prevention is better than the cure.
It's a lot cheaper as well, Dan. So that helps us deliver low-cost services to our customers. Yeah.
So I think here we go. I mean, it's our first podcast ever.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed catching up with you.
It's been good to talk to you.
Getting the LGfL latest, as I like to call it. I look forward to many more. And I hope we can build up a few viewers out there for rounds 2, 3, 4, and 5.
I think we've got a long way to catch up with the likes of the BBC and some of these some of these YouTubers. But it's good to have the chat, isn't it?
Whatever platform you see this on, guys, press the like button, and it'll be appreciated.
Make sure we switch off the comments field, though. I think that could be dangerous.
Okay. We'll get that arranged too. So anyway, thanks for coming on the show.
That's all right, Dan. Pleasure.
I feel like I ought to press a button and put some music on to finish off.
I think you should.
And I'm going to go for that button here and see what happens. Thank you for coming on the show, John.